So, what other books do you plan on writing about? We already know about the rom-com because I won't shut up about it. And we already know I write dark fantasy romance broodiness and comical cryptid ghost stuff and saucy stuff. If only you guys could see this list. And I practically have written the first few chapters just because I've got to dip my toes. So when we go off of what I plan to write next, we have the Paranormal RomCom that I'm almost so freaking close to at least handing off to alpha readers. Then we have the plan that under Honey Cummings of finishing the trilogy of the Carnal Throne series, right? You guys have Queen's Incubus. I think the next one's going to be the Queen's Consort and then the Queen's King or Kings. I haven't decided. The reverse harem, saucy, dark fantasy, absolute trigger warnings out the wahoo. Inspired by Halsey's Castle. I don't know, something about that song just gave me some great ideas for the premise of that. So I plan on finishing that, which is why I needed the rom-com. I think after that, we'll probably I'll probably want to write 2 more books for the Cedric series. But it really depends, I think, at how well received this rom-com is, and I may start zigzagging standalone between my other series and things that I'm finishing up. I also want to do another 3 set of novellas for cryptids. I want Loch Ness Monster and Siren and a Mermaid, right? Every Travels crew thinks I should do a Rougarou and the Mothman and things. I think they just... And what was another one I was thinking I should throw in there? Maybe Green Eyes. They just went to a Green Eyes festival. So, who knows? Those are short stories. Maybe I could find time between. As for stuff that's on the back burner that I'm not allowed to touch until I finish something, I have something I call the Arlington Paradox. Well, even since high school, I've struggled to try to write a science fiction piece. I would love to just dip my toes into a science fiction. Just a standalone science fiction. And I had this dream. I mean, the Princess Priest, the whole beginning scene was from a dream. What else? I think Tattooed Angel's Rebirth started with a dream and a song. So, dreams influence me a lot. They get the wheels going, get the hamster running in the wheel. And it squeaks so loud. I've always tried to write sci-fi, and it always turns into paranormal. But I finally found a premise and an angle and a sort of space opera, cyberpunk love triangle why choose that I want to write. And it involves a sentient ship, a cyborg, and a biologically engineered weapon. And that's your love triangle, right? Why not? Oh boy. I want to write a science fiction, high action, hijinks, space hijinks. I have written the first chapters playing with that. It's a lover's quarrel between the bioengineered chick, Jasper, and Arlington, who is the sentient ship. And she's mad because he has stopped using like the intercom and speaker system to use his voice and keeps just messaging on the monitors. And she's like, use your voice. And he goes, well, how do I know that's really my voice anymore? Because he's been stuck as a ship like over 100 years and he's now questioning his humanity, right? Which is fair. But basically the Arlington Paradox refers to him. He's the only known instance of a soul and living being being incorporated into a non-living thing, in this case a ship, a very alien ship. So I have pages of world building that just came bombarding. So that's on the back burner. What other fun stories do I have? I have a very Vampire Hunter D, very dark fantasy piece, post-apocalyptic vibing, almost like Trinity Blood, Vampire Hunter D vibes, right? And there are seers, and there's stipulations to being seers. There are werewolves and vampires and human colonies that are just trying to live and being fed on immensely, and all sorts of fun aspects. So there's that concept, and I think it's like going to be like Blackthrone Winter or something like that. So there's that idea. So those are just two. If we count what from high school, I have a whole more shifter. They're all shifters. A shifter fantasy adventure kind of questing vibing thing. I have classic runaway princess becomes warrior kind of story idea, but those are the ones I really want to write, right? I want to write these other new ideas because they're bubbling to the surface. Other things I would love to dip my toes into and eventually wield. So for example, the Traibon family saga, there's a reason why I chose Traibon family saga. So we've already know the immenseness of the involvement of the family itself, especially with this new release coming out and book 4 on the horizon. There is so much that's going to finally be revealed or confirmed for some of you guys who've already started doing crazy man with the strings and the bulletin board on this. But I want to finish Ashton's prequel set, and as a follow-up to this, or sort of overlapping a little bit with this and beyond, would be exploring Red Wine and Warlord Sebastian's story, right? So they're sort of part of the family too. I would love to do another set about Lillian for the Traibon family saga. These are things I want to write, and I can't until let's finish a series first before I start a new one. Though there might be a way to sneak in Arlington Paradox, because I kind of plan that to just be a chunky boy, one-off sci-fi funsies. But we'll see. Time will tell. Right now I have a day job, so things are a little slower than normal, but I'm still writing, so here I am.